I analyzed over 1,000 faceless YouTube shorts across several different niches to crack the algorithm and figured out why some faceless shorts like this one, and this one gain millions of views while others like these failed to even cross 500 views. I even created separate shorts channels to understand the algorithm better, and I found that successful faceless shorts use a very specific formula that helps them get great results over and over again. So, what do these successful shorts do that 99% of other creators on YouTube don't? The best faceless YouTube shorts follow 5 simple rules. And in this video, I am going to walk you through them all. Make sure you stick around till the end because I am also going to show you how you can use AI to create these viral faceless shorts in minutes without having to script, record, or edit anything. Rule number 1, a great idea. Now, if you're unable to create a viral short, this is probably where you're going wrong. If your video idea is bad, you cannot make it go viral no matter how good your script is or editing is. During my research, I found that most faceless short channels fail because they don't spend enough time finding good ideas. Now, one thing to keep in mind about faceless channels is that your niche is also just as important as your ideas. Unlike face-based channels where a creator's personality itself can be their niche, you need to have one category to post content in. This basically helps viewers build familiarity with you and also helps you build authority in that space, like with these channels. For this video, we are focusing on ocean facts as our niche of choice. Now, coming to the ideas themselves, one way to find good ideas is to look for what is already working for others in your niche. Outlier ideas that have already gotten them millions of views. So if I look in the ocean facts niche, I see that videos around scary ocean facts, mysterious ocean facts, and specifically the Mariana Trench have done really well. They've gotten creators millions of views. So I can easily recreate these for my channel as well because people are clearly interested in these topics and it is likely to give my channel a good reach. Another trick is to not just look at channels in your niche, but look at YouTube trends overall to see what videos or topics are going viral for other creators, for even face-based creators. What most people don't realize is that you can mold outlier ideas from other niches, from other creators into your own niche and create viral shorts very easily. For instance, this short from Jenny Hoyos has gotten over 13 million views. And I can very easily use it as an idea for my Faceless Ocean Facts channel. A topic like the weirdest metal detector finds on beaches works great for my channel. Another way to find ideas is to look for overall trends in the world. The kind of stuff that people are searching for at present overall on the internet. Now, you can do this by using tools like Google Trends, Answer the Public, and even YouTube search. For example, if we look at Google Trends for the month of April and May, we can see that Barcelona and Madrid were trending as search terms in the last week of April and the first week of May. And this was because of the Madrid Open. So how can I mold this to my Ocean Facts channel? I can create content around the Mediterranean Sea, because that is on the eastern coast of Spain. Interesting stories and facts. And this would have drastically increased my chances of going viral because Madrid and Spain were things that people were already searching for on the internet during that time. Now, this brings us to our second most crucial rule, which is creating the packaging for your shorts, your title and your thumbnail frame. These collectively determine whether people click on your short, actually watch it instead of just swiping away. So how do you nail this combo? You cannot work in isolation. Like the thumbnail is not separate from the title. You need to create complementary titles and thumbnails. And how do you do this? You basically do this by having a combination of titles that generate a sense of FOMO and that create a curiosity gap, aka make people curious enough to want to click on it. And combined with this title, you have thumbnail frames that have a clear point of focus, have bold text, and have imagery or elements that generate a certain emotion in the viewer that actually pique their curiosity. So let's look at a couple of examples. We have the first thumbnail here, which has a very curiosity, FOMO-inducing title because after this, I want to know why I shouldn't touch an eel ever. It has a clear point of focus in the image, which is your eel in an aquarium. And it also generates a sense of curiosity and fear with a person actually touching the eel when the title says not to. And then it has some bold text in the middle which just says they use this power. So together, this combination basically makes you really curious as to why the title is saying this. Let's look at another one, Mariana Trench Mystery. It does not say mysteries, it says mysteries. So the title is very curiosity inducing. I want to know what this mystery is. And the image itself supports this narrative. It is an underwater, very, very simple image of a shark in focus. So it has one single focal point. And then it has Mariana Trench written over it. So it's just reinforcing the fact that this is about the Mariana Trench and it's something scary because of the shark image. And now I'm curious enough to click on it. And the third example is of this, the speed of light on different planets. Again, the title is very curiosity inducing. I want to know if speed of light is different on different planets. And then it has a very clear point of focus in the image itself, which is the planet Jupiter, and it gives us a little sneak peek of what to expect with the text. You will notice that the titles and thumbnails for all of these complement each other, and that the titles are actually short, 5 to 6 words at max. And that is because longer words get cut when somebody is watching this. And if you can't convey your entire emotion or curiosity gap in those 5 to 6 words, people might scroll away because they don't know what the short is about. This brings us to rule 3. Now, while title and thumbnail are very important, they are not the only factors that determine viewer interest. Because people will only really look at the title and thumbnail if the short shows up either on their homepage or it shows up on their trending page. But for most people who browse through shorts, swipe through it on their phone, it is something that just props up in their feed while scrolling. And whether they choose to watch it is determined first by your hook and then by the rest of your script. So how can you nail your script? First, make sure that the first 3 to 5 seconds of your short are irresistible. If the hook does not capture your viewer's attention, they are likely to swipe away, and then YouTube will not recommend your short to other people. And the way to create a killer hook is to build on that curiosity gap that you created with your title and thumbnail and tie that in with the emotion that you want to elicit in the viewer. For instance, in this short, which has over 13 million views by the way, the creator starts with a very shocking visual of a bull's horn being cut with a saw and says this for the hook.
This bull is almost killed by its own horn, which is growing right into its own skull.
This immediately draws the viewer in. He is now feeling curious and a little afraid for this animal at the same time. So this hook elicits the emotion of fear, and the viewer wants to know what happens to such animals, and so he continues to watch. Let's say that I want to use this hook strategy for a short that I'm creating for my Ocean Facts channel. So there has recently been a discovery that new species have been discovered in the ocean that we didn't know about. So my hook can be something like, scientists just discovered 100 new species in the oceans living in areas that we didn't even know existed. This immediately has the viewer intrigued, like, oh my god, 100 new species? That's insane, I've got to watch this. And unknown parts of the ocean. I didn't know we had unknown parts in the ocean. So both of these things together pique viewer interest. The next thing you want to do as a part of your script is build a narrative, a story that has curiosity peaks built into it. Let me explain with an example. Here is a short about animal facts that has gotten close to 3,000 views.
Did you know that a bald eagle's nest can weigh up to 2 tons? Here's some fun facts.
On the face of it, there is nothing wrong with it. The images are nice and clear, and the facts themselves are actually quite interesting. In fact, this is a very popular shorts format in the faceless space. But the reason this short might never go viral is because it does not keep the viewer feel interested in sticking till the end. The narrative is just not engaging. On the other hand, let's look at the bull short one more time.
This bull is almost killed by its own horn, which is growing right into its own skull. Horn is one of the most versatile body parts in the animal kingdom, which can be used as a weapon, defense mechanism, display of dominance, and even as a tool. But sometimes, the same body parts can hurt, or even kill the animal.
Now you can see that after the hook, the creator gives a little nugget of information about the utility of horns in animals, and then circles back to talk about horns killing the host ant, piquing the viewer's curiosity once again, because they still have not found out why this happened. After that, he satisfies that curiosity for a little bit, and then brings in one more curiosity peek when he circles back to the fate of wild animals that this happens to. You see that the entire narrative was created to build curiosity and satisfy it again and again. It looks like this. Using this formula actually 10x's your chances of creating a viral short as opposed to just sticking to a listicle every single time. And the final thing you want to pay attention to with respect to your script is the length of your short. Multiple experts from Paddy Galloway to Nate Black have time and again shown that longer shorts tend to perform better. Most likely because they tend to keep the viewer on the platform for longer. In fact, if you look at the shorts YouTube pushes out to viewers on their home pages, you will see that they're generally the ones that are longer than 40 seconds. So when you're scripting, keep in mind the length of your short. The longer it is, the better. This brings us to rule number 4, which is relevant visuals. You will see that I didn't say great visuals, I said relevant. And that is because the definition of great varies from niche to niche and from short to short. If you look at the examples I shared before, this short has great AI generated images that are perfectly color corrected, and yet it has less than 3,000 views. But this short on the other hand has a very raw footage and gory images of animals being killed by their own horns and has over 13 million views. The reason is that the visuals in the second short are relevant to the narrative. They show us exactly what the story wants to convey. It builds those emotions of fear and disgust in us. The AI-generated images, on the other hand, don't elicit any sort of emotion. A much better approach for this short would have been to use real images or video clips of the animals that they are talking about instead of using AI-generated ones. Now, when you're creating your short, you really want to ascertain what feeling you want the visuals to generate. For instance, in my 100 new species video, having clips of the species or animals that are discovered will be a much better bet than using AI-generated images of random animals, still not making it clear what they look like. Because these real images will generate amazement in the viewer as opposed to me using AI images. But on the other hand, if you have a history facts channels, let's say, using AI-generated images might work in your favor because it will probably not be possible for you to find real images of all the facts that you're talking about. And this brings us to rule number 5, which is consistent publishing. Publishing consistently is important overall on YouTube, but it is even more important for faceless creators simply because of the volume of content being published on the platform every single day. Publishing consistently does 2 things. 1, it signals to the YouTube algorithm that you are a serious creator committed to bringing and keeping viewers on the platform. And 2, it helps you build connection and authority with your audience. Think of it this way. The average viewer has limited attention span, and within this attention span, they have to choose what to watch on YouTube. Now, once you build trust with them, they will choose your content over others. But if you break that consistency, that attention span gets taken over by other creators and other content, and they no longer have the mental bandwidth to watch yours. Most of the unsuccessful faceless short creators out there fail because they are unable to maintain this consistency of producing a good baseline quality of videos. The only way to beat this is to have a dependable system to lean on when things get tough for you. Now, the good news is that with the advent of AI, creating this system has become easier than ever. This makes it super easy for you to get your videos out on time and massively reduces the amount of time and effort that is needed to create a high quality output. Let me show you one such AI tool that can be your video co-pilot and can help you create your shorts in under 10 minutes. The tool I'm talking about is InVideo AI. You can take a simple text prompt and turn it into a publish-ready YouTube short in your own voice in under 5 minutes. Let me show you how. So I'm going to start by signing into my account on ai.invideo.io. And first here, I am going to create an AI version of my voice, basically a clone of my voice. So I'm going to click on this button here that says clone your voice and upload an audio file of me or an audio recording of my voice on the next page. You can simply record this on your phone or your laptop using the script that I have shared in the description. Make sure to give InVideo AI vocal permission to use your voice. Now, once you upload your file, InVideo will ask you for certain permissions. So check. And then your voice is cloned in seconds. Here is mine, named Aditi. Now let's go back to the home page and we are going to start creating our video. For this, I am going to click on YouTube Shorts as the workflow here. And then I'm going to put in my topic, which is scientists discovering 100 new species in the ocean. I recently just read about this topic and I think it will make for a wonderful short for an Ocean Facts channel. I am then going to specify the title, give it instructions on the intro, the tone of voice, language, and pace. And I'm also going to share a reference article link within video to bring the information from, so that the information itself is accurate from the start. And don't worry, the prompt format is shared in the description so you can copy it for whatever short that you are creating. Next, I am going to choose the voiceover. I am just going to click on my voice and choose the recorded voice. And then we are going to let the rest of the parameters stay as is and hit generate. In video, AI will ask me for a few more details on the audience, the look and feel I want. And once I select those, here is the first draft. It generates in just a few minutes.
What's something people don't know about the ocean depths? Are you ready to plunge into the mysteries beneath the waves? Imagine this. A team of marine researchers just ventured into one of the least explored parts of the ocean off New Zealand's coast and came back with news that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
That actually looks great for any AI-generated video. But now let's take all of our learnings from the 5 rules that we just discussed and put those into action. I am going to start by editing the script first because that is where the magic lies. For this, I am going to click on the edit option below the canvas, and here I'm going to choose the edit script tab. Now, we already discussed the hook in the beginning, right? So I am going to replace the current intro with that hook. I'm also going to introduce curiosity peaks within the script, and I'm going to make the language a little bit simpler to be more effective in keeping people engaged. And this is what the final script looks like. Great hook, curiosity peaks, and a satisfying conclusion. With that done, I also want to ensure that the images and video clips we are using are relevant. So I have actually downloaded a couple of images and videos from the actual research project. I'm going to click on the edit media tab here and then upload these. And then I am just going to go ahead and choose the clips on the timeline that I want to replace. So I'm going to choose that clip on the timeline, and then I'm going to click on my uploaded video or image that I want to use. And you can see that it gets placed on top of the original, meaning that it has been replaced. I can also use this search bar to search the stock library for any additional clips that I want. Now, once all of that is done, let's click on apply. And now the only thing that's left to do is remove the music, because with shorts, it is a much better idea to use music from the YouTube audio library because that increases your chances of going viral. So I am going to use this prompt box under the canvas to remove the music. And with that, let's take a look at our final short.
Scientists just discovered 100 new species in the ocean off the coast of Chile, living in areas we didn't even know existed. This is huge. Because before now, exploring the deep ocean was almost impossible. In fact, it was so hard that we know more about the surface of Mars than we know about the deep ocean. But this time, a group of scientists combined the use of satellite and sonar technology to explore a mysterious stretch of the ocean over 500 miles long. They used a robot that could dive as deep as 14,000 feet and found over 100 potential new species that are completely new to science. From bizarre fish to star-like creatures, the ocean continues to be Earth's most uncharted territory. With over 2 million species believed to exist underwater, we've only scratched the surface.
Now, this overall took me about 10 minutes to do, and I think the final shot has turned out to be super cool. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this final clip. Now, once you are happy with the results, just go ahead and click on export, and keep in mind that voice cloning and watermark-free exports are available only on the paid plan, which starts as low as $20 a month. But given the fact that you get an insanely powerful video editor for this price, this is definitely a bargain. So go ahead, try applying these principles to create your own shorts using InVideo AI. And don't forget to check out this video next if you are really serious about taking your shorts game to the next level.